Are you curious as to how the market's going to play itself in Toronto in 2022? Well, in this video, I go in depth into all the elements that's going to impact the real estate market this year. And it's all going to begin right after this. Hey everyone, Josh Tavares, Realtor at eXp Realty, covering the Greater Toronto Area. It would mean so much if you can help us out and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to get updates on our newly uploaded content. And if you want access to our seller's guide, comment seller's guide down below and I'll send that your way. And without further ado, let's begin. As we know, the real estate market has been super hot for many years, but especially after the pandemic has taken place, has really accelerated the prices of real estate all across North America and the world. Early on in the pandemic, we were seeing a decrease in sales and sales price, but of course, in the last couple of years, we've seen a massive increase in both. May of 2020, the market began to rebound from the pandemic's beginning in March of 2020. And with this in place, 2020 year was a massive record-breaking year in Canadian real estate, with not only prices, but also limited inventory, making it much higher, and also too, with an increase of migration, making it more and more expensive for homes, seeing homes go anywhere from $50,000 to $300,000, even more sometimes over asking. So here are 5 trends that you can expect for 2022 and how it's going to impact the real estate market. The Bank of Canada has stated that they're going to be a little more aggressive in raising rates this year, and you can look for that to begin in April of 2022. These will be the first rate hikes since before the 2020s began. As soon as the pandemic began, the Bank of Canada aggressively began to cut rates, in which it became more affordable for people to afford more home, which means that, of course, based on limited inventory, high demand, and high migration, we had a lot more people paying more for homes at record rates. And with having rates aggressively cut, it just means that more home that people can afford, which essentially means prices are going to go up, and so on and so forth, as we've seen recently, where it would be the exact opposite trajectory if things were to be in the opposite, where interest rates had gone from, let's say 2% and lower, all the way up to 5-6%, where we would see less sales, less affordability, and less transactions and asking price as a whole. With increasing the interest rates, banks are looking to cool the market so there's a little bit more balance and stability in the market versus the hot market that we've seen the last couple of years since the pandemic. And the big 6 banks are predicting the Bank of Canada is going to increase their rates by the end of 22 to a full 1%. Only time is going to tell if the bank increases their rates, when they do, and the overall implications of how that's going to impact the real estate market in 2022. With rates increasing, I still believe that property prices are going to continue to go up, maybe not to the same percentage increase month after month. However, I think based on the demand, the very little supply, and the massive amounts of migration taking place is only going to fuel prices to continue to go up. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest issues is the limited inventory available. We're seeing prices go up substantially, but we're seeing very little inventory to combat the supply and demand. And we're having many people that before the pandemic were maybe thinking of making the move, and now with everything taking place and property prices going significantly higher than before, it's keeping a lot of people in their home, making it harder for people entering the home ownership market to get in. So it causes a lot of people to stay still, and the people looking to get in from the sidelines, it causes additional barriers and frustration. Like recently, I've been in touch with some clients that are looking to purchase a home in rural Ontario that have owned their suburban home for 30+ years, worth much higher than $1 million. However, prices have gone up substantially that it'd be really hard for them to get the acreage that they're looking for by selling their home in the suburb and purchasing out in rural Ontario. So it's keeping them in their place. So for the people looking to purchase that suburban home, for that individual who's looking to sell that home to go out to rural Ontario, it's keeping everyone in their place. It's kind of like a congested roadway where everyone's waiting for the next person to make the next move so they can get in the right spot. And with the federal government's aggressive migration plan, with over 400,000 people migrating to Canada per year until 2023, it becomes more and more challenging given the limited inventory, low housing starts, and the overall asking price that makes it more and more challenging for people to enter the market, keeping people in the same spot for the most part, and having more people on the sidelines looking to get in and waiting for people in the game to actually sell and move to the next location, all in all keeping everyone in the same spot. To help with this, there's going to be some sort of housing strategy that needs to be put into place where higher supply is being entered into the market with more housing starts and giving more initiative for people to go about selling their home, increasing the inventory, and helping with the demand meet up with supply just a little bit more. Unless there's further incentivized programs in place to increase production of homes and having more incentives for first-time home buyers and other buyers in general, it's just going to be more and more frustrating for people on the sidelines to enter the market or for people in the game to move from one destination to the next destination. Because of what's transpired, you're seeing areas like Oshawa and Hamilton that are about 45 minutes to an hour away see significant price increases. We're seeing properties at one point that about 10 years ago used to be about $100,000 for a detached home-ish is now nearing $1 million, and further communities are getting more and more expensive. So as the people are leaving from Toronto to go to other places like Oshawa, places closer and closer to Oshawa, their areas of Durham and so on and so forth, are becoming more expensive because as those people leave Durham, they're going to go to other areas that are now going to become more and more expensive, and so on and so forth. With how the market has taken place, you're seeing more and more people purchase digitally, meaning having documents signed digitally, but at the same time as well, sometimes not even being able to visit the property, whether it's because of COVID restrictions and so on and so forth, that there's a lot of things such as digital open houses and whatnot, but also homes are leaving the market so quickly that people are putting offers on a home that they've never seen before. Just last year, we had a client who put in an offer and purchased a home that looked fantastic. However, they had never viewed the property, and in order to get that property, they had to be super aggressive the day that home came on the market. And with everything taking place, digital is becoming more of a proponent than the old brick and mortar sense, where we're having everything provided via email from realtor.ca and so on and so forth. It's giving us more and more information up to date on how the market's performing than the old adage of, let's say, TV, brick and mortar, mail, and so on and so forth. This is impacting how people are transacting today, and it is definitely going to impact those of the older generation who might need to move into some sort of seniors living, in which they're going to need now their children to take place, help them with the transaction of their home, as they may not be tech savvy or they may not understand the language very well, that they're going to need some assistance from their children or from someone who's able to speak the language to go from their current home to go to some sort of other assisted living. There you have it. Those are some things to keep an eye on the market in 2022 in Toronto. I hope the video was super helpful, insightful, and gives you all the information, insights that you need to be updated what's taking place. I'm Josh Tavares, Realtor at the eXp Realty, covering the Greater Toronto Area. It would mean so much if you can help us out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to update on newly uploaded content. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.